Good morning, YouTuber family. Jonny Cashflow here. Hope your day is going wonderful. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. So I wanted to reach out. You guys have been watching a little bit of my videos. You know, I have been stream for about 16 years now. And something I wanted to share with you guys is what the best investment is going to be next 5 years. And it's not what you think. So after studying for, like I said, 16 years that I've been pursuing entrepreneurship, I've been actively investing for over a decade, including real estate, stocks, businesses, if you want to, look at those as investments, although, you're trying to make a big business, it's not quite the same thing as traditional investments. But whole point is I have looked at all types of things. And in later videos, I'll kind of talk about really what are the things that you can do that can get you on the passive side of the equation and not on the active side of the equation in terms of how you make the majority of your money. So I will talk about that, further in separate videos, but I really want to hone in on what the number one investment you can make in the next 5 years will be. And what it is investing in yourself. And it's not only because I think real estate's due for about a 10 to 15% correction downward in the next 2 to 4 years. And I think the stock market will kind of just do this for a minimum the next 3 years before the Federal Reserve finally stops increasing interest rates. Anyways, but I digress, even though, I think there's a lot of headwinds in the market that I'm not upset with any investors that are like, I'm just going to be like Warren Buffett right now and try to sit on a mountain of cash instead of trying to make money before the bottom falls out. But that being said, there's always ways to make money. There's always, I think of Meet Kevin from House Hack and YouTube is doing some really cool things. He's a smart guy. He understands wedge deals, which is purchasing properties 10 to 20% less than what the market would ask, or even, purchasing wedge deal fixer uppers where maybe it's, it's 30% less than market, but you can put 10% in and you still have that 20% wedge where if the market does fall 10 to 15%, you don't care. It's a cash flowing asset. And long term, the real estate's going to grow and go up because of inflation. So long story short, there are people out there that will make a lot of money in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, where there's going to be a lot of headwinds and shifts and not necessarily great turns in terms of, equities going down and debt bubbles popping and incomes not keeping up with inflation or living or asset inflation. So a lot of headwinds in the next 2 to 4 years. Just in traditional investments in real estate. Like I said, doesn't mean you can't go meet Kevin and have a great strategy in real estate similar to him or similar to other, people that are going to be very successful in real estate in the next few years. And there's going to be a lot of people like Warren Buffett that, they have their strategy. They're in the market. They're going to stay in the market forever, and they have their long-term strategies or their value plays, or even your Kathy Woods that, what makes her millions from the volatility, of the market and being a forward thinker. So, there's all different types of great perspectives in investment and ways that you can make money outside of your active income, your small business, or your employment in the next 2 to 4 to 5 years, right? But here's my whole point. And not to ramble, let's put a pin on it. The whole point is the best investment you can ever make is in yourself, in your education, in your mindset, in your relationships. And it's not to be a reservoir. It's not to just invest in yourself and feel great and look great and think great all the time. It's like the parable of the monk who attains enlightenment. People say you can't attain enlightenment, but it's a parable. Stay with me. There's a monk, okay? He has attained enlightenment. He lives on the mountain, the most beautiful mountain. He spends all his days eating the freshest fruit, the freshest food. He lives to over 100, healthy, beautiful life, has beautiful, I don't know if he has a wife and family, but let's say for Americanized sake, that this monk he has a whole family. He lives the fullest life you can imagine, and he has this wonderful existence. But him and his whole family, their whole existence is just on this mountain, secluded from the rest of the world. They could essentially not exist. If you use the logic of Schrodinger's cat, they don't exist because if nobody knows that they exist, nobody hears the tree fall in the woods, it doesn't exist. This family doesn't exist. This monk doesn't exist. Great that he reached enlightenment, but if he didn't go out there and then impact the rest of the world with the enlightenment that he's attained, that sounds pretty selfish, man. Like he should have gotten off the mountain at some point and help the rest of us. How do you reach? Like everybody wants what you have, the enlightenment, the attainment, the joy, the greatness, and so that's the whole point. The whole point is that it's not to be a reservoir; it's so that the cup overfloweth. Right? You cannot provide to people what you do not have yourself. Okay, so if I didn't have the knowledge that I had and the experience that I had and the books that I had, I couldn't present this to you. And I couldn't have 5 or 10 years ago because I didn't have the level of knowledge or experience. Right? So it's the whole understanding that you are your own greatest asset. You just need to view yourself as that. You need to understand, Mr. Miyagi, you pour out the cup so that it can be empty and filled with goodness. You pour out the negativity, the old thoughts, the old mindset, and then you fill the cup up with goodness, with good books, with good association, good people, good times, doing good things for people outside of yourself. And the more you do the things outside of yourself, you realize that brings a greater joy than you could just spending money on yourself or being that monk on that mountain by yourself, reaching enlightenment and never helping another person or spreading your good word. So again, I hope this was impactful. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night, evening, day, whatever time this video is hitting you. I hope you enjoyed it, stayed till the end, liked and subscribed, did all the things, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh. My mouse wasn't working.